everyone, and welcome to the Coffee Break Podcast. I am your host, Melissa.
And I'm your co-host, Elisa. Hello, welcome back to those who have been watching every week so far. And for those of you who are new, especially if you're on Spotify or iHeartRadio, what is up, y'all? We finally got on those platforms. I am so excited. We've been getting a lot of views lately, and I'm really excited. So thank you for those who have been with us. This is amazing.
Yes.
So keep it up. For those of you who don't know who the heck we is, and you're like, I'm just listening to you for the first time. I don't know who you are. I don't know anything about you. Let me introduce you to who the Coffee Break Podcast people be. Yeah. We're the two friends that have finally got back together for a nice steaming cup of coffee or iced coffee. Depends how the weather is outside. After a long and stressful week of work, we indulge in combos of entertainment, environmental news, and even current events. We're that fancy. We even sometimes discuss like our hobbies, like when we want to craft, paint, do some digital art, make some pins, patches, all that fancy stuff. And just to vent sometimes, because some people just need to vent once in a while, especially when you have a cup of coffee to feel your venting. We also do a segment called Coffee of the Day, where we give you one special coffee and we give you facts, recipes, or just the origin stories of how that coffee came along. Yeah. So let's get brewing. Melissa, what is the coffee of the day?
It was the banana split coffee.
Yes, banana split coffee. Yum, 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 yum,
Does it have ice cream in it?
You can put ice cream in it if you want to. It doesn't say ice cream on it, but if you want to put ice cream on it.
Banana split, that's
true.
That's an ice cream.
That's true.
Thing.
Okay. You can calm down, Melissa. Explain it. Okay. So what you're going to need is you can have 6 ounce or 1 cup of coffee. It really depends on your desire or taste of what your coffee is. You need 1 spoonful of brown sugar, milk, of course, a biscuit. It has to be a circular biscuit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Or whatever cup shape you have. You need banana sliced and caramel dessert topping.
All right.
It's going to be amazing. So what you're going to do is you're going to make your cup of coffee. Then you're going to pour your coffee. You're going to add the brown sugar and you're going to mix it with the coffee because that's the only way your brown sugar is going to melt.
Yeah, that's true.
It will not mix if it's cold coffee. Anything cold in it, it will not mix, and you're just going to get chunks of brown sugar in your mouth, and that's not going to be fun.
No, it's not.
If you listened to our few episodes ago about frothing your milk by just like shaking in a mason jar and putting it in the microwave for 30 seconds, that's one way to do it, or just keep whisking it. You're going to froth some, and you're going to pour it in your coffee. Sorry, I've spaced out. And then you're going to lay a biscuit right on top of the froth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're like fancy right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to take your sliced bananas and put it on top. And then you're going to drizzle caramel.
Okay.
Now, if you want the ice cream, after you put your milk, you put the ice cream on top and you put the biscuit with it and then the bananas with it, with the caramel drizzle. So
that actually sounds tasty.
It does sound tasty. We are going to be making it one day. And it's going to be great. We're going to be like really hyped on coffee and sugar. Latte sugar.
Oh my goodness.
It's going to be great. So yeah, that's the banana split coffee. So if you don't want ice cream in yours, you just kind of want that banana taste, then you can go ahead and do one without the ice cream. And then one with ice cream if you're like, I'm going to have my ice cream. And yeah, you do that. You do what you want, boo. Do whatever makes you happy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the coffee of the day. Banana split coffee. Sounds really good, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or you can also get like banana liqueur and just put it in. Yeah, with the brown instead of brown sugar if you don't want it. Or you can mix it together. Yeah. Yeah, so that's one way of having it too. Which, man, I really want it now. Yes. And that is, so Melissa, what is our topic for today?
For today's topic, we are going to be talking about gambling and gaming and microtransactions.
Yes. Is it considered gambling? What do you feel about microtransactions? Yeah. We'll get more into that. It's always been a thing with gambling, but like no one really sees it unless you're NBA 2K20, where they literally put a slot machine in a basketball game that's rated E for everyone. And kids be playing it. And you know how kids be.
Yay, gambling.
Yay, gambling. For those of you who don't know about the NBA 2020 game, I'm going to say 2020. I'm like, not going to try. For those of you who don't know, so in 2019, the NBA 2K20 just got released. It was created by Visual Concepts, which I forgot, and published by 2K Sports. Duh, that's why it's 2K20. The game reveals slots, which is like a Wheel of Fortune style prize, and the game Pachinko, which is a, like a card game you would play like in a casino or something like that. They also have like a 3-wheel slot machine that you can pull the trigger and get like prizes and stuff like that. So like if you want to like extra prizes, or you want to like boost in your like your gameplay and everything like that, you have to play these games to get it.
Okay.
And if you don't win, you're using your coins, and then you have to buy the coins kind of thing. So Entertainment Software Rating Board and the Pan-European Game Information, these are like the people who rate the games before they get released. For those of you who didn't hear it in the rating board section, believe that the game didn't portray a gambling feel and stand by their everyone E rating. And even despite the concerns of fans saying like, yes, this is a gambling game, they were just like, no, we still stand by, this is for everyone because it's a basketball game. Well, I mean, you're not allowed to gamble till you're like 21 in Las Vegas, so isn't that the same thing? However, the three leading console manufacturers, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, were aware of public concerns. They believe their players were being exploited and said they were going to try fixing it in the coming year, 2020. And then, like, it was like a big thing, but like games have always had like loot boxes, or like, because they were calling these slots loot boxes. Like, that's not a loot box. That's not a loot box. Like, a good example of a loot box system would be Overwatch, even though I know some people are still kind of boycotting them right now. I don't know, honestly, but
with the whole China thing that happened, and
what they did to the
Singapore whole ordeal,
what they did to the winner. It was Singapore. Not Singapore. No, it wasn't. It's Beijing. What's Singapore?
What's wrong with me? Sorry.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I mean, as you can still see, we're still drinking our coffee. But so Overwatch is a good example of a good loot box mechanic, considering like you have to actually play to get your loot boxes. Like you can actually achieve loot box without purchasing it.
Right.
So that was like one thing. I played Overwatch for a while, and you didn't have to pay. You just had to like, like I win this many games, I get this many coins. You get even coins from just like, even if you lost, you still get them out. You don't get as much
gold and stuff.
There we go. Excuse me. But like, so that's like a good example of a loot box. Like, what were you saying about Overwatch?
Well, with Overwatch, there was like this whole thing that was going on with where, if there are events that are going on, like this past event that was happening with the Year of the Rat, new outfits and stuff were coming out for that event. And like, I had friends who were more than willing to, grind it out and get their loot boxes that way. And they have that system available to you so that you don't have to pay. But there are going to be those people who, are going to want to pay for it rather than having to grind it out. But to me, it's like, what's the point in paying for it when you're only playing when there are events? It's like, if you're not an active player and you're only playing for events, then there's no point in spending that money. Like, to me, that just doesn't make any sense. And because of that reason, you're only playing when there are things going on, and it's like, there's no way of you like showing off your
new skin, or you got new weapon design or something like that,
emotes and stuff like that,
voice acting.
So it's just like, to me, there's no point into that. And I think we were talking earlier about how with EA and the whole thing that was going on during the release of Star Wars Battlefront, I think it was.
Yeah.
Where, everyone started boycotting because they weren't, they were releasing new things like skins and stuff like that for special characters and releasing characters, but you were only able to pay for them. It wasn't something that was unlockable.
You couldn't unlock it.
Yeah.
And that was like a lot of fans were complaining about, like, I bought this $60 plus game. For some spent more than $60 depending what they got.
Yeah. It's just the issue that I find with those kinds of games, and that was also going on with Red Dead when it was first released, was the fact that or at least not when it was released, but when Red Dead was available for online, it felt like such an incomplete game, and that ends up happening a lot with a lot of the games that they come out with and try to implement microtransactions into the games. Is the fact that a lot of the times when you're getting a game, it's a very incomplete game.
Yep.
And I cannot tell you how much that irritates the hell out of me. Just the fact that every time it's all implemented for a microtransaction. And I understood it when it's mobile gaming, because I do feel like mobile gaming is a gaming system in its own right.
It's just a different platform.
Yeah, it's just a different platform. It's online. You're still playing online.
Yeah, you're
playing on your phone. It's online. And but the fact of the matter is, like, microtransactions for me is just something that was, mobile gaming only.
Yeah.
And there are some games that enable it so that you can still play the game and enjoy the game without having to pay for things. But there are, like, a lot of those heavy, like, a lot of those games that just heavily rely on microtransactions.
Yes.
And it's unacceptable to me. It's like, if you want to play a fully made game, it should have been already readily available to you, regardless of what you want to pay for. Like, microtransactions should only be for, like, maybe, like, something as simple like as maybe a skin, but even that should be unlockable. Like, something that you can unlock and gain it.
Or, like, you want some, like, cool, like, weapons in your game or something like that. Or a tool that will help it make it more easier. But, like, you have to get, like, a certain XP and or you have to pay, like, $20 for it. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be a choice.
Yeah.
It can't just be, like, for you to advance. Because I would play a lot of, like, mobile games.
Yeah.
And the one thing that got me not playing mobile games a lot, and it changed since then, but was that I could not move on with the story unless I bought something. Yeah. That microtransaction, that is what irritates me.
That irritates me so much.
And I understand because they're not getting the money from the ads, but they need more to continue, and I
then
get
not just
it.
that, it's like you're still not getting a complete game because you
not.
have to pay for like a new level or something, and I think
to
that's
continue.
Utter bull poo. I'm just like, what? No, there should be no reason for me to have to pay to progress into a story. That's BS.
And it shouldn't be, especially especially if you're on the platform of PS4 or like Xbox and stuff like that. You should not have that at all. With you mentioned about the Star Wars game, right?
Yeah, Battlefront. Yeah,
Battlefront, where you couldn't complete the game. I think so. It's like you couldn't complete the game without making a purchase.
Oh, I think that was for Call of Duty, but I don't know if that's right or not. Like I forgot to check.
Yeah,
to do some more fact
I tried looking for it, but they kept giving me both Star Wars game and one Call of Duty game. Yeah. So I didn't know which one it was.
You had to pay for a map. I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And the consequences the consequence for that was, like, blatantly obvious. EA lost a ton of money for Battlefront. Like, how did you not expect this to happen? Like, nobody wants to pay for certain things that should have been available already. Like,
yeah. And it wasn't promoted until everyone started playing the game. And then they were like, whoa. Or if they did promote it, it wasn't like a big, like, in your face. It was kind of like but also you have to pay for this if you want to continue. But it has new features on it. And you're like, what was that little thing you said? Like, what did you say? It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. It's, kind of stuff like that where you're just like, all right, what did I say? Like, what did I actually pay for? Yeah, I'm paying for more than what I got. Yeah. Yeah, and it's a disappointment. And it's like, man, you really are greedy. You're trying to get that money from your players, and that's what Sony and them were saying. Like, you're exploiting your fans,
your audience, basically.
And so many of the EA fans, when I was reading like Twitter and stuff like that, they were all like, oh, I returned my game, or like I stopped like ordering anything from EA. I unfollowed them, blah blah blah, because of like you're not at that point. That's kind of like a disrespect to your fans, the people who actually come and be like, I'm going to buy it.
They're spending their money on this. And I think another thing that was also really just irritated me so much is that you're spending so much money on pre-orders. Like, you cannot fathom how much money people are spending on pre-orders alone, and then to pre-order a game and get something that's only half made done. I think that is just utterly unacceptable.
Yeah,
like, come on.
Like, really,
it's ridiculous. Like, wait a minute. So I'm pre-ordering a game and I'm only getting half, and I have to spend more money to get something else for the same game? Like, no. I'm sorry, but no. That's not what I'm doing. I don't pre-order anything anymore. Like, I was going to pre-order Red Dead Redemption, and after a while, like, I got to thinking, well, what am I paying for exactly?
Yeah, what are you going to actually pay for?
Because online wasn't available until maybe like a week later. I'm like, so then why am I paying a pre-order premium for a game that's not going to be, or a part of the game that's not going to be available until a week later? And even then, it was like super buggy.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a given. Like, it happens, whatever. But still, like, you're still paying actual money for certain things. And like, they changed it so that now you like, during events or every time you log in certain things, you get like gold.
Oh, okay.
Rather than having to spend money on it.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
So it's not too bad anymore, but
still,
goodness gracious,
that intention was still there.
Yeah, they nerfed a bunch of stuff, which is great, but it's still like you still have to grind.
Yeah.
And that to me is fun. Like, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But
grinding is fun because that's kind of the point of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and some of the events they have, and some of the expansions or updates that they put in there make it so that you gain gold at the same time you gain money when you do like missions and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So it works out.
Yeah.
But still, like,
it's still
when it was first coming out, that was some BS. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Another BS game we can talk about was like how Fortnite became such a big thing, and how their Fort Bucks. I was told it was like kind of like Overwatch, but Fortnite is kind of like they don't give you skins for winning or anything like that. They just give you like points or something like that. But like the thing that Fortnite had for a while was like their loot boxes was like the llama thing. That's why all the kids like the llama. Yeah. Because you get prizes from them, but you have to use Fort Bucks, which you can only purchase by using real money. Yeah. And that was a big ordeal where a lot of people were like, don't get, like, a lot of parents were telling other parents don't let your kids get Fortnite because it was so addicted to them. And like kids were like demanding parents to be like, give me your money to buy Fort Bucks, or they will take their credit card and be like, and the thing was also the llama, like it wasn't that great when you buy Fort Bucks and you get like the llama loot box, because the llama loot box wasn't that much randomized. So people would be getting the same thing over and over again. And like you would use $20 plus just to get a good amount of stuff. Yeah. Like bucks, like our money. Yeah. And so of course we work with kids, so we get all the kids who are like, Fortnite this, Fortnite that. I'm so sick of it. But one of the things was, out of my group of 20 kids, 7 kids got their Fortnite game taken away from them because they were using their parents' credit card without them. And like for a while I was listening and they were talking about their parents buying them stuff, but I'm thinking like, that's a lot. And I ask sometimes the parents, I'm like, oh, he plays Fortnite a lot, does he get like a lot of cool stuff? Because you can only get that with money. And that's when a lot of them were like, what do you mean? They were like, what do you mean connecting? Yeah, they were connecting the dots. And so one of the parents came back to me and told me that one of their kids spent $3,527 on Fortnite stuff. $3,527. And most of that was repeated loot boxes because he could not find the one he wanted. I mean, now Fortnite makes a llama see-through, so you know what you're getting. But that's still, like, if you're not given a choice whether to get it from grinding or just to pay. And I've had like in personal experience, so I just asked the kids this. I'm like, so can you not win it by winning a round or something like that? You can get like cool weapons, but they're like the basic stuff. It's not like the cooler stuff. It's like you get the basic ones. Yeah. And I was like, well, what's the point then? Like, there's no point. I mean, like, there is a point of like having fun and playing, but kids are mostly playing Fortnite and they don't care about having fun. They care about how good they look and how good they are.
The cosmetic
like,
stuff.
Yeah, the cosmetic bull crap stuff. So it's just like, all right, you're shallow. Okay, cool. And I would tell my kids that. They're like, I'm not shallow. I'm like, yes, you are. But yeah, when they told me 3,000, one parent was able to like stop it right away, took all their games away, and they were really upset for like the whole week.
Yeah, like if you're a parent and your kid plays like video games, I would highly suggest, you know, being a little bit invested in what they're doing in the game, because if you're spending money on something, I would say just, you know, be aware of where your money is going. Just saying.
Especially when you get games. I had kids that come up and they're like 10 years old. They have Grand Theft Auto. And I was like, why is your parent buying you Grand Theft Auto? Like, do a little bit of research. Like, I know it's just a game and it's like, it doesn't really influence you still. I'm just saying
that's a total boomer move to not, you know, be aware of what your kid's doing online. Don't and then get angry at the video game companies. Like, you can't do that. Can you freaking not?
And you have to be observant of your kids nowadays, because there's so many creepers out there too trying to get these kids.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, that is like the most boomer thing is, you know, like blaming the gaming company or blame the game rather than blaming your own self because you decided, I'm gonna let my kid play this and just like let them have at it.
Well, because they don't want to look bad. Like, they don't want to look like a bad parent. And it's like, just take your pride down and like understand.
Yeah, like, it's like,
you
know,
so it's
get a little bit involved.
Yeah, and it's not bad because that's also a bonding moment with your kids. True. Be like, oh, let's try this game out, and then you're like, this is not okay. At least you tried it with your kid, and you're like, let's return it. Or it was like a boring game. Let's like get something else.
Yeah, like
it's a good bonding moment.
He's like heavily involved in his kids' gaming. And him and his kid build their own computer, and now they play online and go to competitions and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like
it's good bonding moments.
Yeah, it's something for you and your kid to do together. At least take that opportunity.
Yeah,
than, you know,
then just like being on the side, and then when you find out like something happens, you're like, I'm not a bad parent. It's the video game. It's like we can't blame the video games. Let's stop that. Like, it wasn't an issue honestly until like recently, like, but that's because also social media. I'm not trying to tell you
what to do. Like, as a parent, I'm not a parent, but at the same time, I'm saying it as like someone who, you know,
works with kids.
He works with kids and plays video games and know what's going on in the gaming industry. Like, just by doing some simple research, it's just like
we see the outside, like the outside of what's happening. Like, we see everything from what parents tell us and what kids tell us. Like, we see both sides. It's not like we aren't parents, so we don't understand, but we are also like, we work with kids and we were kids too. Yeah. But like, so that's just something we can all consider in a way. So but to put like a cap on the gambling thing. Yeah. So like, because these like these gambles are not worth like real world value, it's not considered gambling. That's why all those people are saying this is still E-rated, because they're not getting like a value, like a real life value. It's a game value. But because it became such an issue, it was creating articles to parents not to get kids games for Christmas, because it was creating gamblers, because they were like, oh, what am I going to get now? And then they get a game, and then they spent money on another game they can get. It was like a whole ordeal. Like, you can give us your thought on that, but it was like a big old thing and everything like that. But like, so because of that, they dropped a lot of like the EA people were like, it's fine. It's whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not real world value. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But the fans are still like, well, we're still going to boycott you. That's not going to change the fact.
I mean, money is real world problems.
It is. If I'm spending money on something that's considered gambling, it's just, again, it's like Las Vegas. It's still considered a game. I'm playing on the slots. Yeah. I may not get money back. That's not real world value. That's still considered gambling. Yeah. Like, if you look up the dictionary, that's still considered gambling. So Yeah, they were saying that. They were like, well, it's not. I'm like, well, it is. Kind of is. I mean, I get it. You know, just like some kids are just like, no, I'm not really addicted to this, so they don't really get like that full on to it. But there's some kids where we get this a lot who are really into it, really into Fortnite, really into like the NBA gambling stuff and all that stuff. Like, even some of the kids, when I didn't even mention it, they're like, yeah, it's like gambling, but like I'm gonna be a pro gambler when I get older because I'm playing this. I'm like, that's so different. It's all chance. There's nothing there's nothing good about this. So yeah, that was the whole thing about it, and they're still trying to fix it for this year. Like PlayStation them suggested to them if they wanted to continue on their platforms, they had to change it. But we'll see what happens because it is an updating game, update real life game, so real time game. But so, that's all the time we have for this episode. Yeah. We might continue this with a guest of ours later because they know a little more. Yeah. And this is a lot of information, but we have to cut this episode. And I have to do more research because I don't like not knowing. Yeah. Like I can only give my opinion on it right now, but like as far as facts, I don't have that right now. So we should probably continue this. We're going facts. To. Yeah. I just got mostly at the story of what was happening right now. Yeah. So, but they're pretty good facts. So, and it's also based on opinion. Honestly, it's really based on opinion in this situation because it's based on like what parents think, students think, like just everyone, what they believe. And so, but thank you for listening. This is brought to you by Elite 23 Shopping because we have amazing art there that's created by us on t-shirts, bags, and even sweaters. So if you guys want to be supporting, go check that out there. And if you want to get the latest update, please check us out on our Instagram at E23G period E. E23G period E. I was saying dot for a while and someone's like, I can't find the dot. I'm like, it's a period. It's a period. I'm sorry. But check out our Instagram. Check out Elite 23 Shopping also for code CBP for 30% off your whole purchase. CBP for 30% off your whole purchase. Thank you. Check it out. Be awesome.
And if you like what we do here, please feel free to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more notifications.
Yes. Thank you again for those of you who are listening on our Spotify and iHeartRadio. Thank you so much for supporting us and being a coffee break lover just like us. Yes. So thank you guys. We will see you in the next episode. Good boy.